So it's time to complete my least favorite unboxing that I've literally ever had to do. Let's rewind, play some old tape, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Hello everybody, Christian from Treasure Town here, and today I have a $6,000 silver coin purchase that I'm super excited came in from France. So we're going to be looking for really cool metals, jetons, and then we got a big boatload of world silver, which is going to include a bunch of Swiss coins. So I'm curious what dates we'll get, and then like a general mix that this dealer had gotten in. So I've been trying to work with a lot more dealers to purchase really awesome world coins and get them here and make them available to collectors. So I'll probably hang on to some of my favorite jetons and metals from the batch, but most of this stuff I'm going to be sort of treasure hunting with a resale perspective. So let's get into the unboxing. So I obviously sounded really optimistic there, and I felt like this would be a good opportunity to both, well, do another regular coin unboxing. There's still some stuff left in here, but also talk about some of the issues in terms of running a coin operation where you're buying coins and having to receive them. Obviously, it's easy to go to coin shows, but it's easier generally to have coins shipped to you. And this is a big silver world coin unboxing, or that's what it's supposed to be. And as I mentioned, there were probably 3 main lots of coins, but there was actually a 4th as well that I purchased from a seller who's an awesome guy. And he did everything he could in this situation from my perspective, and it's ultimately not working out particularly well. And so this package was being shipped from France, was stuck for a while in French customs in Charles de Gaulle, the airport, and then as well in, I think it's Köln, like Cologne, Germany. And I was kind of figuring, like, hey, what's going on here? Why is it taking so long? Why is it delayed? And I'm not exactly sure if that's why it was delayed so long. But unfortunately, as I was opening this thing up, I realized that there's a couple $1,000 of coins missing from this package. And so it's been a challenging process. There were a couple of lessons too, in that the coins that were missing, I was planning on wholesaling to somebody else for probably like $100 to $200. Like, I think it was literally like $100 profit. So we're talking about less than 10%, and they're all gone, which is really challenging. But then also UPS has just been brutal from an insurance perspective. It's the insurance is with the shipper, and so it seems like there's not much they can do, because it's not like they entirely lost the package. They seem to be denying insurance claims that the seller paid for. I'm not exactly sure the resolution on that front, and what's going on. And the seller, I'm not going to name them, is like a very kind person, but not like a huge company. So it's not like they have a big insurance umbrella policy. And so it's something that I've had to think about, of like, okay, how are we going about sourcing, and how are we going about making sure that items are not lost in transit? And so, tricky thing is, it's been a bad loss, a 4-figure loss, couple $1,000. There's still, thankfully, whoever cut into this package now has a bunch of Swiss 2, 1, and half francs, and probably has done quite well with them. They did not steal the silver metals, jetons, and kind of mix. And so I was very thankful for that. And they also did not steal a smaller group of mixed world silver. And so the redeeming thing is that instead of making off with $5,500, $6,000, it's probably like $2,300 or so. But the whole situation has been a nightmare. I've been on hours and hours of calls with UPS, and I figured it would end up making for an okay video. There is a real unboxing attached to this, so I probably will put something at the beginning of the video basically saying, here's the timestamps, skip to where you want to go. Worst unboxing ever. I'm hoping to turn it around. I guess a consolation is that in the intermittent phase, silver price has probably gone up like 25%, so that'll help cover some of the losses, but ultimately it's maybe, it's multiple thousands of bucks in the hole. I guess maybe it ends up being like 1700 in the hole if silver's increased a bit. But challenges of buying coins abroad. I've also had packages broken into here, but I ship everything above about $500 with full insurance. And so on the losses that I've had, I've always had them insured and well covered. And so that's probably another video about like how to properly insure shipments. But man, it has been a doozy. But if you know me, you know that I love unboxing coins. And so there wasn't a way that I was going to let this thing go to waste. You know, here we are, and it's time to see if we can make this thing back. And as I have it in front of me, I'm feeling really thankful that whoever broke into this package didn't take the other, call it $3,500 of stuff. And so, again, I cannot wait to get into this. I paid a good bit over silver on both of these. This, I think, was very solidly above silver, but I'm more excited probably about the big metal hunt that I'll get to do, because there's just so many designs here, and they're not very common, and they might be like one of only a couple on the market at any given time. So this is going to be the village or town of Douai, and it says glory to, I'm actually not sure what vainqueur is, but maybe some conquerors in 1302 who would have founded the village. Given how much I paid over melt, it'll be curious to see if I can get tons of premium above melt. But I also think, this is gorgeous. A Vie de Douldan. Seems like a pretty similar theme metal, a little bit smaller. But yeah, all beautiful types so far. And I really want to open this up. Whoa. Okay, so this is pretty awesome. Concours Musical, 1911. The artistry on that is fantastic. It's probably following the Beaux-Arts themes. Can't quite read that. Mottes, maybe? Mut, or something like that. Very, very pretty. This is going to be the, I don't know what école is. It could be école, which is like a school. But some of these may have been like a prize medal. They would have been ready to engrave this, but they never got the chance to. They all should have argent. There you can see argent and that poinçon. I think that means that it's like shortly after 1880. Here is Fluctuat Nec Mergitur, engraved by Delaunay. And again, I'm not exactly sure. Vie de Paris. Maybe I'm going to look this one up live. Delaunay engraver. Right next to me, and see at what point this might have happened. And it actually, maybe I am not spelling this one right. Well, I'm now putting in metal. Maybe it's not there. Delanoy, he died in 1972. So I was thinking that this one could be a little more modern. This one might be like in the 60s or 70s or so. Oh, and then underneath it, this one's a Ministry of Agriculture, beautiful, Science and Labor, French Republic. Dubois is, I think, a more famous, gorgeous Beaux-Arts theme. So really liking how that's going to end up looking there. Then here we have Marais, Caisse des Écoles of the 2nd arrondissement. Caisse, I also kind of want a live translation, and so bear with me. But I've seen it say like Caisse de Palme, so I'm gonna switch these, and I just have to get it in my translation here. Be cool if AI could do it for me. CAISSE box. Okay, that I'm not exactly sure what that means. Affair, Translate not working particularly well there. There's that classic Vernon, and I think it's actually a slight variation of it. 1912 engraved de Jet del Sol. The French Society Sauvetage. Let's see. Google should be able to do this one for me. I'd be disappointed if it didn't. Rescue. Now, I'm not exactly sure the context of a rescue society. Underneath it, a nice high patina medal of the Society of Geography, Commercial, like maybe Commerce Society. Great toning, though. And again, reflective surfaces are awesome there. Wow, these are some big time heavy hitting 1907 metal, Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Beautiful French type. I could see that one being fairly high premium, but it's also huge compared to even over here. Let's see, like if I pull out what's a fairly substantial 100 franc coin from Monaco. This thing is just massive in comparison. So I think a lot of these are like probably low 3-figure coins. There looks like an athlete maybe. Oh, interesting. It looks like maybe an Italian metal with some toning around it. Interesting. Here we have something Ministry of the Guerre, which is the war, with the classic French obverse. Wow. A lot of cool types. This one is going to be an 1859 dated octagonal jeton, probably struck sometime in the late 1800s or early 1900s. We'll see if we can find, I think that's the Poisson stamp. Right here, this one seems more modern to me. Silver, very interesting. It almost reminds me of some of the Belgian, but then there's like the fleur-de-lis. 1968. Okay, that makes a lot of sense in terms of that date. Here we see a society, I'm not sure what, Thiel in Dijon, with some rifles, some riflery. French Republic, public instruction. Another, chunky silver metal. I don't think that this is going to be gold, but I'm pleased with how large a lot of these are. There we have another octagonal jeton. There's Caisse d'Épargne d'Albi. I've never seen Albi, referencing a royal ordinance of August 1835. Commerce of Marsan. Ooh, I really like the design there. It feels fairly... I would love to have some of these engraved. Oh, there's an engraved one right behind it. Nice. This one's going to be dated to 1911. Kind of a silver metal or jeton. Very beautiful and interesting. This one is Alliance. That one is engraved. Science and Labor, Ministry of Agriculture, French Republic. That says Alliance as well. So is not gold, but it didn't have that gold look, so I'm not disappointed. 1888. That's a really pretty metal. Wow. So interesting. And this actually references 1888 as well. I think that might be, yeah, that's Latin, so I actually don't know. I have no shot of reading that one. Chunky French silver here. Jacques Philippe. Hommage de la Mutuelle Générale Française Vie. Life of French. It seems like it was affixed to something at one point. It's a little sticky there. Gorgeous one right here. Rifle scene. And then over here, it looks like a cannon. Pro Patria. Interesting, and a war. I'm not sure if this would maybe be commemorating a specific war or maybe just kind of French military heroism. These are some seriously cool types though. This one is going to be, a marriage jeton. Maybe a Christian marriage jeton. I've seen these often, those engraved with like specific people who got married. Maybe I should have had one for my wedding. And that one seems to be a Christian scene, but maybe not in the marriage context. This one is going to be, man, so many variations on like the Liberty front. Agriculture of La Dordogne. There it says Sursum Corda. And it looks like it almost might have been struck over something, or maybe a different type had been imprinted on the die at some level. Here we have an Udun Toulouse medal. Another agricultural society one with some of that gilding, with a sower. Ooh, and then a nice, often the honeybee, it would be related to, like, I think insurance companies are basically good, encouraging good financial management, which, hey, that's not a bad thing at all. Next up, we've got Gatin, some kind of jeton here, 1833 dated, but this one feels more modern than that. Bet it has the Poisson on it. I'm not there. I think that's saying something. Oh, and yeah, it does have even more modern because it says two argent. Often those are like in the 50s, so I always try to check for that. Another one of those Christian themed medals. Here is Jacques Lafayette. Let's see. 1837. October. 1891, Blanquefort, French Republic medal. Oh, that one's a cool scene. Like a bishop almost on the front of that. Then right here we have Dubuis Campagne des Chemins de Fer. I think fer is iron. That one's gorgeous too. Wish we had a couple more like dating. Ooh, and Napoleon. That could be a more desired one. In the year 8. Wow. Senate and the people. Napoleonic metals I love, especially in big silver like that. That's awesome. That's a really good find there. Agriculture, fantastic. Right here we have, wow, Ministry of War, Communication of Adrien. A little bit dinged up, but man, the underlying surface. Oh, and this side is so nice. 1871 or so. Looks like a big cannon. Gorgeous metal. I mean, that thing is huge, though. Do I even have a scale laying around? I don't think so, but if I did, I'm going to have to sell a lot of these with the weight, too, just because they're so large. Another nice Christian marriage jeton. Let's keep pulling through here. Oh, this one's fun. Wearable 1905. Magasin du Louvre. Minted by Dubuis, I think. And then this one's the one that fell. A French Republic Médaille Coloniale. So maybe commemorating the French colonial efforts. Interesting. May not have aged. Here we have Society of Agriculture of France. Big time metal with the bovine themes and looks like a honeybee up top. These are some heavy hitting metals. Wow. Society of Agriculture of France. Another cool type. I mean, these are some huge. I don't know what they were doing handing these out. Those agricultural societies seem to be in good shape. I've seen this Nantes jeton before. Very nice. Chambre au Tribunal de Commerce. This one is Commerce and Industry, the 1822 law. But again, this one's going to be more modern, I'm almost positive, just based off of how it has been struck. And again, I think we do see, yeah, a 2 agent, so probably sometime in the 1960s is my best guess on that one. This one is dated a little later, and it looks a little later too, dated to 1818. My guess was struck sometime Louis the 18th. Let's see if we get, there's some good learning that you can have. Okay, honestly, I think this might be to that time, because after 1830 there sometimes is these privy marks. I want to say it's 1830. They'll give you a little bit more detail. Like this one's 1838. There should be argent, and then I think that's like, I need to remember, but that might be a little B or something that would indicate like, oh, this was struck in this time range. Not sure who that is. Let's see. 1882, that makes sense as to, based off of the design when it was struck. Clement Isura. Then we have a nice toned type, and then we also have a Christian, another pin, metal that's been turned into a pin. And wow, I mean, we still have a good amount of coins here. Couple of smaller jetons. Let's see, here we have 1916 Jusqu'au bout, some kind of silver. You know, I'll have to look at the engraving more closely. A Christian marriage jeton, though that one looks smaller and different from most of the other types that we've had. This one is dated to, I see LL, I think it's 1856. 23rd anniversary of the inauguration of the king. Interesting. A worn 1767 jeton of France. Oops, dropped a good octagonal type. Sagesse fixe la fortune. Bank of France in the 8th year, so that's like pretty early. This is going to be a later 1859, but later than that. Backdated type. Here is another Christian marriage jeton, another Caisse de Pain, 1835. Beautiful. Oh, we got a honeybee octagon, Rouen, and then a beautiful, wow, shiny France. And then a couple more here. We have a 1900 monument. Interesting. And then Fidelity and Bonheur. I'm not sure what Bonheur is. I think it's a bar. 1822 law. Nice. 1831 dated. I've seen that one before and this one looks like a larger marriage jeton of some type, unengraved. I wonder if somebody just had tons of those waiting, and then they never got a chance to engrave them. Here we see some kind of Roman, undated, but kind of looked a Roman type figure. There's another Fidelite Bonheur type. And then last but not least, we've got some kind of keychain with a French rooster. Interesting. Ronald is the engraver there. Looks like maybe an X-ray theme. That's kind of interesting for a doctor. 1960 sort of token in 800 silver. We've got a French Republic price, La Pêche, I'm not sure. You know, again, most of these ending up unengraved. Comité d'Expertise of the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. And then last, we've got this. That's a good emblematic, just French silver type. So familiar and exciting. And then we get to move on to, oh, there's a Monaco 50 francs. We also have a little fairly worn 1760 something. I think 1760 VII. I think that's a VII. Maybe 1768 or 1767. So you get a little handful of silver. Also, this little baggie talks about the French royals. So let's see what's going on there. Interesting. We have some smaller, like double tournois. Very fun. 1698, later type of Louis, that would be Louis XIV. All right, also tumbling out of the bag, this 100 francs from Monaco, 1982. That's cool. I don't get Monaco silver in that much, so again, thankful that all this stuff made the journey because enough of it didn't. And so I will try to pick up a handful of this and just walk us all through. Ooh, nice. 1879 Alfonso 2 peseta. That's a pretty good sized silver coin, as is this one, 2 peseta of Alfonso the 13th. He's like a literal baby on his coins because I think his dad Alfonso is assassinated shortly after, would have struck this 1881. There's the Spanish government reign 2 pesetas. We have a 10 Deutsche Mark, Gottfried, and then here we have 100 pesetas 1966 of Franco. I think that's 80% silver. I think, and maybe if this trick is still there, you can see what the real date is by zooming in on that star, which looks like maybe 68 if my close eye is reading that one properly. German, that's cool with all of the historical different marks on there. This is going to be a 10 German mark. We've got a Danish type, marriage 1964, 5 kroner. Also in back of it in 1989. Oh, wow. Rainier, Prince of Monaco. That's not what I would have thought. It's pretty cool that they still issue. This one looks almost a Lithuanian, maybe? 1997. Who is that? 100 francs, though. Oh, of Monaco. Awesome. We're getting all the Monacan silver. I love it. 1998. Portuguese 500 escudos. This is cool because, and here's an older 1928 2 shilling, but like some of these are cool because I've not seen a lot of these silver designs. So as far as I'm concerned, we're having an awesome hunt with everything that arrived. Like, I've really enjoyed this purchase. There's just different kind of things than I see often. A lot of Austria Portuguese, and this makes sense, buying it out of France, 1969 Portuguese, 50 escudos. Oh, a 50 dinara with, I think it's Peter, I want to say the second. Whoa, Ethiopian little silver. Dang, that is a great inclusion. Love it. And then here we have a French silver, 1963. Here we've got a 1976 100 shilling. Austrian Republic. Wow, this reminds me a lot of that like taller type style. I'm just a huge fan so far. We've got a German, I think that's a 10 euro. Yeah, 10 euro. You can see the euro right on there. What date would this have been? Struck in 2002, so that's an early one. I think the euro was started in like 1999, but really 2002 is when a bunch adopted it. Here's a 2, wow, a 1,000 escudo. Portuguese. Dang, I am thrilled with this. Just such unique stuff. 1986, this one looks like maybe Olympic 5,000 won. So interesting. Of South Korea. 5 francs right there of Monaco. 1935, that one is going to actually be Nazi German, though this one does not have any swastikas, so I'm able to sell that one, of Hindenburg there. 1931, Netherlands, 1 gulden. 10 cents Canadian, 1916. Interesting. Here we have a 1910 Canadian, and this little 20 lepta, 1874, is Greek. Remember, Greece, as it stands today, was not a state for that long. 1870, not its own country for that long. They have incredible history going a long ways back. 1891, Alfonso the 13th. But something curious. And then let's get all the other coins here to close this thing out with a perspective of, man, this is actually a great hunt. There's a Austrian 1969. Wonderful. We've got French 1871 2 francs. Is that Napoleonic? I think it is Napoleon, and it even has a date, 1809. I think it's a half franc. Fantastic. What is this? That looks like a maybe 10. I could figure out the amount of sols that it is of, I think, King Louis the 17th before he gets executed. There's a 20 francs from Belgium. Clearer detail, 1871, 2 francs from France, very nice. A great Mount Fuji silver, 1,000 yen. 1915, 50 para, a half mark, and let's see, this one is going to be 20 cents, 1867, nice. Romanian 200 lei. And I'll go just for some of the highlights here. That looks like a couple smaller Spanish coins, which is really interesting. 1875, 50 para. Man, I'm loving this hunt. This is awesome. 1960, 20 drachma. 1867, Emmanuel Vittorio. 1898, 50 francs. 1 peseta there from Spain. A gulden from the Netherlands. A mark from 1901, German Empire. And there's U.S. Philippines, there's Spanish, French. Dang, is that another Ethiopian type? It is. Wow, that is a gorgeous coin. And just incredible history on all of their items. Here we have a 50 francs from, should be Belgium. A Polish type, I haven't seen this in a while, 200 zloty. I think it's 75% silver if I'm remembering correctly. Spanish, Netherlands, French, Spanish. There's a British 6 pence. Papal States, 1868, 10 soldi. Man, hits keep coming. Spanish, 1893. Wow. 1892. What a lineup. And another, even maybe with the date, I think I saw it. 1808. Double Napoleon. Epic ending. Talk about making my day with the move in silver price. I think there's honestly a decent chance, because I'll try to really retail some of the silver. I don't want to just sell it for what it could melt for, because you really cannot buy these things back. I think there's a decent chance that we come out of this, again, given the silver price, near break even, maybe, lose $500, but there could be actually a pretty good opportunity here relative to what I paid to get back, to have good profits on it, on all the coins had we not gotten hit. And given that we did, kind of make some of that back. Man, though, these Napoleonic, love the coins in front of me. We got to figure out a good way to ship this stuff securely, and I will be featuring as much of it as I can get. Thanks for watching the video. Make sure to head on over to treasuretown.com and sign up for our email list to stay up to date on everything that's happening, whether it's auction updates, exciting new inventory drops, coin collecting news, or general informational resources. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on another one.